In this new series, I will migrate from solo self-found with 5 Exalted Orbs and a handful of items into Harvest Trade League, documenting every single step of the way towards the most expensive currency item in the game. Introducing the Road to Mirror. Welcome, it's your friendly neighbourhood Badger here, and I am back for day number 9 of the Road to Mirror series. Now, as you may have seen by the thumbnail, and over on the left hand side, we have reached our goal. But we haven't reached our goal. What does Badger mean by this? So it's a little bit confusing, as you see over there, 110%, 0.69, nice, by the way. There's been a couple of interesting things that have happened with this whole series, but the main thing is, I do have to say, I kind of stuffed up a little bit in terms of my calculation. There's a couple of reasons why, but the main reason being, I have been tallying my profits as, in actual fact, the revenue. So that does mean the investment I've been putting into making currency, silly for me, has not been tallied at all. So, whoops on my behalf. But it is also still going to be really interesting to see how much over the actual amount a mirror is, revenue, to then actually purchase a mirror here, which it's going to be really, really interesting to see where this all adds up. In terms of 110.69% completion, that is the total revenue that we've made towards a mirror. So we have made 110% worth of a mirror, but we have invested a little bit of currency there. In actual fact, I think we're closer to around about 80% of actual profit and ready to purchase. So I still have to sell a few things, but we didn't fully reach our goal yesterday or today. But we're going to be grinding, and hopefully in the next day we are going to be able to hit that goal. So hopefully we can do it on day 10, just into double digits. So what have we actually made today? Well, basically, we did 5,345 chaos worth of revenue, not profit, as first envisioned. But that revenue has come from quite a few different things, namely a couple of bottled faith drops from running Cortex maps, and they rolled really well. So a Cortex map cost about 1.2 Exalted Orbs each, and it's around about a 1 in 4, but I did get 2 bottles in 9 runs, so just a little bit over the average there. But because they were good rolls, I sold them for 9 Exalted Orbs each. So if we tally up 9 Cortex runs for 1.2 Exalted Orbs each, that is a total of, 10.8 Exalted Orbs, and we sold 2 for 9x each. Then we're still in the profit about 7x there of actual profit. Then we did run one more Uber Elder as well, and that Uber Elder did drop another Watcher's Eye. It's kind of crazy, but that does mean we're up to 8 Uber Elder Watcher's Eyes out of 10 runs. It's kind of unprecedented, so we've been pretty lucky there. So sometimes luck does boil down to it, but if you have been over on Twitch watching all of this, you will still have seen the efficiency that I am running maps, the number of Siriuses that I've run, and a bunch of other things that have happened there as well. We did also drop an Awakened Fork from Sirius. Some of this was done, most of this was done on stream, and then I did a little bit off stream as well. So for those of you who watched the whole stream yesterday and are watching this video, then some of the drops that you would have seen tallied, I didn't actually drop on stream, we dropped off stream. But we'll be back into it today. So if we jump over and have a look at the currency tab that we actually gained everything from today, right over here into our dump tab, lots of Pirandus coins using the seed crafting, so that's around about almost 20,000 coins just there. So I'd have to calculate that all myself. And we got a bunch of other stuff, so a couple of drops from the Cortexes, the other Cortexes that we did. We also dropped a really interesting Nebulous here, gained 5% of cold damage as extra chaos damage. I thought this was going to be fairly expensive, between the 5 to 10 Exalted Orb range, but it wasn't. My calculations were off, so it's around about 100 chaos, but that's probably changed closer to around 50 now over time. And we are in the process of crafting a really, really nice ring here as well. As you can have a look at this ring, pretty much tier 1 of everything there, including an essence rolled physical damage to attacks up the top there. But we still need to roll life to hopefully a T2 to T1 here as well. And then we're going to craft percent increased damage on there. That's going to be a really nice steel ring to see if we can sell. Not for amazing amounts because they are relatively easy to craft. But yeah. And another Bolt of Faith that hasn't even sold yet, as well as a Herald of Thunder as well. And someone is trying to buy my Bottled Faith as we speak for 10 Exalted Orbs. However, they offered 7 Exalted Orbs. I'm just going to message them back. No thanks. 9.5 minimum is what I'll give him. Right there like that. So that's, you know, a little bit of bartering there. He tried to undercut quite a lot. I'm definitely not going to do that much, but I'm going to say 9.5 minimum for some pretty good rolls here. 1.92 and 10% increased damage taken. So that's the third one there. And we did double corrupt a Herald of Thunder right there as well, which is probably, I listed it for 11. It's probably going to sell closer to about 8 once it actually does sell, but I'll keep putting it down. We can jump over to the Excellence here if you would like to see just a couple of other things. We did drop a, well, we basically turned a Transcendent Mind into a Transcendent Spirit with the altar. So we purchased something and then sold for 160. We got a Kaula's Breachstone and a bunch of other things here, an Ancient Orb, and then lots of other things that just kind of add up. But a lot of the sales do come from just the 32 Exalted Orbs we did make in sales yesterday, which was pretty darn nice. And lastly, we will jump over to the lovely mirror, the lovely spreadsheet here. So basically, day 9, yes, a couple of Bottled Faith drops, 9x each, Transcendent Spirit, 160 Chaos, Kael's Breachstone, and Anuba Elder's Watcher's Eye were the main drops. We did, in total, on stream and off stream, was about 9 hours of grinding. As I said, 5,345 Chaos, which is just under 600 Chaos per hour. And this is revenue, so keep in mind it's not profit, it's revenue. And I have changed up the top here to basically say the revenue instead of, and we'll do this as well, total revenue, spell properly, Badger, there we go. And the mirror did drop a little bit as well, at 23,500, and as you can see there, 110%, 0.69. And that does mean total time played of 67 hours at 26,000 Chaos revenue and 388 revenue per hour, which is pretty interesting. And last of all, the graph over here does show over time the currency going up. Now it's a pretty steady, you know, 5 to 6,000 Chaos per day, which is kind of crazy. We're going to hit that mirror really, really soon. So hopefully the next video that you watch is me showing myself purchasing a mirror with the currency that I've made during this time. That is pretty much all I have to say, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I don't really have much else to say, but what I am going to end this video with is, just because I haven't actually shown the gameplay of this character for a little bit, we are just going to do a map to finish everything off. So I'm going to do an Acid's Cavern map, and we're going to drop this one in here. But we do have to make sure that I do get all of my zombies and everything like that up. So we're going to get this, we're going to get our Animate Guardian up, and then we're also going to put down 2 Desecrates and spawn all of our zombies, and then we're going to jump into the map. So those of you who are interested in playing this build, there will be a build guide coming out later for this one, after the Road to Mirror is done, and then, after that, Twitch chat has basically reached a goal where they choose my next build. Now, I am going to put actually a straw poll down below as well. The top 5 builds are in a straw poll, and this is going to be running for the next day or so. So if you want to go vote for my next build out of the top 5 suggestions, you can go and do that down below. A very, very easy vote in the straw poll. But basically, this is a skeleton necromancer, and very easy. You just kind of jump into the map, spawn your skeletons every now and then. They're using melee splash during mapping, but we usually, during kind of big bosses, we switch to multi-strike. You don't want multi-strike as you are mapping, because it locks them in place. You know, as a player, if you're using multi-strike, you can animation cancel that multi-strike and keep going without all 3 attacks proccing. But with minions, they get locked in place for 3 attacks, no matter if there's if the enemy dies before that point. So it does mean your clear is actually a lot slower if you have multi-strike. Melee splash makes it a lot better. It's not amazing clear, but that is also because the investment into this build is only about 5 Exalted Orbs, potentially even less at this point, because I got kind of lucky with a gem craft. A cluster jewel craft is what I should say. But basically, it's pretty good. As long as you keep your bone offering up, you put Desecrate down and use bone offering, you're pretty much at a capped spell block and normal block. Even though I'm using a sword, we sit at, what is it, 54, 52. And then if we use our roomies, we jump up to 75, 68. And that is with glancing blows. But we do get some life back from Bone Offering, which is super, super nice. That's pretty much how the build goes. We're going to see if we can find the boss relatively quickly here. But it is taking a little bit of time. And as you can see, we took a little bit of damage there. At the moment, the way this build has been built right now, it's not hardcore viable. However, the actual build itself, if built properly and built with more currency or built with less damage and more tankiness in mind, it is definitely hardcore viable. So in the build guide that will be coming out for this character, you will be able to see everything there. All of the budget choices. You can run this build on less than Exalted Orb to pretty much do most of the content in the game. I would say it's about a 3 Exalted Orb investment to be able to complete all content in the game. Including like Itziri and Uber Itziri and that sort of thing, as long as you know the fights. And they're the bosses, you know, the DPS on the bosses there. That's pretty much it with that build. I know I haven't shown it off for a couple of days, or a few days, but that's how it's functioning at the moment. Not too different from what you may have seen before if you've been watching this series, but a little bit more damage increase and everything like that. So that's how that is all sitting. If you want to see the paste bin, it is updated down below. You can definitely go check that one out. I won't go fully through the links, but you can see that in there. That is everything, guys, and until next time, Badger out.